Forget about the election. Let's just talk governance. The irresponsibility of this president has now put our governance in the executive at risk because now the entire presidential staff and his family are now at risk of being infected. I tell you, let me go ahead and play this piece because it gives a chronology of when Hope Hicks was found to be positive. And by the way, she is symptomatic, which possibly means that she would have infected people close to the president and even maybe the president himself. But let's go ahead and listen to this because the chronology is very good, and then we'll move on from there.
And the White House realized last night, Wednesday night, got the diagnosis of Hope Hicks, who is indeed one of the president's very closest advisors. So they've known from last night that she had tested positive for the coronavirus. And let's walk through the chronology of the week. Tuesday night, she accompanied the president to the first general election debate in Cleveland. Yesterday, she was in Minnesota. She traveled with him for a couple stops in Minnesota, including a rally, traveled with him on not just Air Force One, but on Marine One. And it is protocol for staff to wear masks in the presidential helicopter, but it is extraordinarily close quarters. Hope, we're told via White House aides, is one of the White House staffers who does wear masks from time to time. A lot never do, but her mask usage is not 100%. No one is. It's not clear when exactly she might have worn the mask on Air Force One the last couple of days. And it's sort of extraordinary here. The president, just a tweet a few minutes ago, suggested that he and the First Lady were in a quarantine process. Now, I'll defer to the doctor to exactly what that means, but typically the CDC guidelines suggest quarantine could be up to 14 days, which would more or less be half of the time left before Election Day. Now, we believe, we're calling the White House and calling Trump advisors to exactly what he means. It could be that he is simply waiting for the result of another test. But that itself raises questions. They have rapid tests at the White House. Anyone who's going to come into contact with the president, and that includes members of the press pool, do get these avid rapid tests where results are usually known in about a half an hour. And that, one presumes, the president would have had already. So it stands to reason that he has had yet another test, and they're still perhaps waiting for that result. That is what he said in the tweet, one of the more accurate tests that takes a little longer, up to a few hours before they know what it is. At least for now, Brian, as a final point, the White House schedule is still full tomorrow. The president is set to go to a fundraiser here in Washington and then travel to a rally tomorrow night in Florida. I'll be part of the press pool going on that trip. Those events are still on as of now. And it should be noted, the White House knew of Hope Hicks' diagnosis Wednesday night. Today, Thursday, there was no sign of hope. But the president, who had been exposed to Hope Hicks, still traveled to a fundraiser in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Think about that. He knows he may have been infected, and he still went to a fundraiser. He doesn't like to wear masks, potentially infecting others. That is the president of the United States. All the moves that he has made has been wrong for the country. Can we really have another 4 years of this behavior, especially during a pandemic? We want the president to not to be infected, or if he's infected, to be fine. We want Hope Hicks to be fine. We want all these people to be fine. But remember, the president shows little regards for the people that are showing up at these rallies to look at him because he disregards that this virus kills. His friend, Mr. Cain, Herman Cain, was killed in Tulsa by not wearing a mask and being infected. The president is of similar age. So I can imagine right now the president is thinking about Herman Cain. And Herman Cain is a rich guy who got sick, and the greenbacks weren't sufficient to keep him alive. So let's be clear here. We wish the president, the staff, the family, that they survive this infection. But also, we wish that they will treat the American people with the respect, with the responsibility that being the leader of the country dictates. Because it is on the president that we have 200,000 plus dead, including some of his friends. We hope it's not now his extended family, Hope Hicks, and himself that next makes it to that list. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.